Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. Well, let me fix my. Can you see me?
I can see you now. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry about that. This technology is crazy, huh?
Yeah. How is everything with you?
Well, I can't complain, man. I'm really excited about this new record, and I'm excited to get out and perform live again with the band. It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you guys played here in Portugal when the first album came out at a festival at Vagos. It was a really excellent show.
Ah, yeah, right. I remember Vagos.
Yeah, it was very good. So when did you guys start working on the songs for Epic?
Well, actually, uh, we've been working on it for a while, and then obviously, with COVID, it made it to where we couldn't get together. So it's a few years delayed. But then obviously, once we were able to travel again, then we got back to work again on it. So it started, I don't know, a few years ago.
And you guys got together, and is it easier to work when you guys are in the same room, jamming, bouncing ideas?
I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you. There's a magic that gets created when everybody's in the room together and spontaneous.
So like working remotely, it's not something that you enjoy.
Well, I mean, I just don't. I feel that it gets colder.
Yeah.
Not cold in a good way. I mean, I like cold as well. I like cold emotions in music, but the best way that we have found to work together is when we're all together, and that's, like I said, that's where the magic happens.
In talking about emotions, do you need, the emotion of a music to write the lyrics?
Well, there's not a set rule. Sometimes I write, and I'll just start writing. I'll be on a plane and I'll have an idea and I'll write a whole song just sitting there in the seat because now what I use it for, or if I use it, remains to be seen. But sometimes I write stuff and we work on a song and it's very close. It's something that would fit together. Sometimes it's all done at the same time. Sometimes we work on the music first, and then I have ideas about what I want to do, and then I work on vocals after the song is finished. So there's not any set way. But I don't want to have so many rules. It's really what's the most spontaneous and what's the most organic. Then that's what feels the best.
Yeah. Well, on this record, which was the lyric that came, very easily for you? Do you remember any of the songs that, the lyrics just, wrote by itself almost?
Many of them were that way, honestly. Some, I don't, I try to leave some holes for when we get into the studio and we're actually recording, so that I can, include the mood of the session within the songs. So I don't want to be so rigid, but yes, there were several that came almost immediately. Miserere, a good portion of that came as we were sitting there working on the riffs. Mephisto Manifesto was immediate. Scorcher was also pretty quick. I mean, all of them had, as we were working on them, and we had some themes in mind, then everything, it wasn't difficult. It wasn't, if I have to fight something too hard, then I can do that, but I don't prefer that. I prefer things to just feel sort of organically. That's okay, great.
Yeah. And, for what I gather, when you write lyrics, it needs to be a story. It's not just words together. There is like a story in it. It's important for you to tell a story when you write a lyric.
Well, I think in any form of art, whether it be a painting or anything digital or musical, you're trying to express it. artists try to express emotions in the way that they do in whatever their work is. So I don't just throw stuff together. I like it when it's natural, like it feels, here's where we want to go with this. It's just being honest about the art.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. And, speaking of teams, what did inspire you the most when you were in these writing sessions?
Well, inspiration can come from a lot of different ways. I mean, where we write is very isolated, so we don't have any distractions. There's no cities. There's no extra people around. It's just a clean space. When you walk outside, you only see stars. You don't see any lights from a city. So keeping, it's really just getting together and, sharing music, sharing ideas, and then, afterwards, maybe have a few beers and discuss all kinds of things, maybe even things that are not music. And that conversation can be inspiring for a song as well. So there's really not any set way of doing things other than being together and sharing the energy.
Yeah. One of my favorite lyrics on this album has to be the song Invictus. That's, that one sounds, it sounds really good, the song. And, I think we can identify with what happens a lot these days, probably in politics. When you have someone that probably promises the world and everything, but it's just absolutely baloney. What was the idea behind Invictus?
Well, it's definitely not political. I have a very strong distaste for politicians. I think they make things worse rather than better. But I stay away from politics. But the point is just having the strength, looking in the mirror and realizing that the person who's looking back at you is ultimately responsible for everything. I don't look for parenting or from any God or any government. I look in the mirror and then use the determination that I have as a person. And then, with Invictus, I just was basically telling a story about that way of thinking.
Yeah.
And not being coerced or subjugated or enslaved by anything from materialism or promises or anything, sort of keeping it. It's a very personal song for me, but it can mean all kinds of things.
Yeah. And that's, one of the beauties about, music and, lyrics. It's when people can have a different interpretation to what you write. And I think that's probably the best compliment you can get, when people think different things from what you envisioned in the first place when you wrote a song.
Mm-hmm. Well, I leave things open. There's a lot of messaging. There's a lot of stuff that's personal. There's a lot of stuff that's abstract. And it can mean several different things. In fact, as I'm writing, it means different things to me. But then, I try to make it fun. It's entertaining, but it also has sort of positive messages as well.
Yeah. And, when I was listening to the record, there's, it's a very, very journey, the album, from start to finish. And one of the songs for me that, if people would say, like, because we identify you for being in Morbid Angel for many, many years. And Torture, for me, it's your vocal performance on that song brought me back to the Morbid Angel days, because I think it was the closest, on the whole record that remind me of that. And, I enjoy the whole record, your performance there is, spot on. I really like the journey again that it takes us vocally, but Scorcher, I would say it's like David Vincent one-on-one.
Well, that just felt, that song was not really an accident, but it may not have happened. It was just kind of goofing around, and I heard something, and I just recorded the rehearsal, and then I told everybody, I said, guys, this is going to be a song, and they're like, oh, well, it started off as just being something. Just, Rooney started playing a riff, and then Flo played super fast drums over the top. I'm like, this really feels cool. And we talked about it, and it didn't need to be super complex. It's just a mean, ripping song. And yeah, once again, it felt really natural. And yeah, I try to apply sort of different vocal ideas on different things. So when you're going on a journey, I don't want everything to sound the same.
Yeah.
So I make sure that there's enough variety with everything I do. It really, and this is nothing new for me either. I mean, I did this back in the Morbid Angel days. I've done it throughout my musical career. I'm always pushing and just going for something. And again, I don't have any preconceived notions about, oh, it must be this or it must be that. It's just, what it must be is organic.
Yeah. It's still exciting to make new music.
Oh yeah. I love it. I mean, this is what I do. I mean, it's not what I do. It's not that I just choose to do it. I don't think I have a choice. Music just comes to me. It always has. And it's just yearning to get out.
Yeah.
It just comes and comes and comes. Even like I can't suppress it. It just, my mind is always thinking about music.
Yeah. And you have a ranch. Obviously, like if you could, dedicate your life to the countryside if you wanted, probably, but you feel that needs, to express yourself through music, or you're in a time, in a frame where you like to just slow down a bit, or it's just the urge of music is there, all the time.
Well, the music comes, like I wake up. I have dream songs, right? I'll be in the shower and something will come to me and I'll start singing in the shower, or I'll sing to the animals, or to my grandkids, or whatever. It's just, there's always something coming, and it's not like I'm concentrating on it. It just comes. It just flows. So. Yeah.
And, with Vltimas Live, obviously you don't play bass. You just sing. It must be freeing for you. I remember when I did the TV and the radio course, for me, when I did the TV thing where it was interviews, my problem was the hands, what I do with the hands. And, you for many years, obviously you were used to playing bass and singing. So you were in that more, steady position. With Vltimas, you just have a microphone in hand. Was it awkward for you what to do with the hands?
Well, no, it's more freedom. I mean, I can be more expressive when I'm not, I have to stand in one place because there's a microphone that's on a stand. So, I can move around a little bit, but in order to be on the mic, I have to be on the mic. So it gives me freedom to explore different things than I would say in Morbid.
Yeah. And you enjoy that freedom on stage?
Well, yeah, I have the greatest job in the world. I mean, I enjoy. Listen, I get to write music. I get to share my life with amazing musicians over the years. I get to perform, and I get to entertain people and make them happy. So, how can there be a better life than that.
Yeah. And now just being just a singer, it's even better because you don't have to, see if the amp for the bass is okay, if the sound is okay. You just have to arrive and, bring your microphone and that's it. You're just
Well, it's not, no, trust me, there's nothing lazy about it. I mean, I put my all into everything I do, but also everything I do, I look at it differently, right? I look at Terrorizer different than I do Morbid, and I look at the Vltimas different than both of those two. And my country stuff, I play acoustic guitar and sing. So every different project is a different mindset for me when I'm going into it. I don't want everything to be the same.
Yeah, it would be boring. Do the same thing.
Oh, sure. I get bored really easy, so I can only imagine listeners would get bored too.
The album is coming out soon, and what are the touring plans? You have I Am Morbid, doing some shows in the summer. You're playing Portugal with I Am Morbid, but what are the plans for Vltimas when it comes to live? A tour? What's the idea?
Well, yes, we have some record release shows coming up in March, several festivals, and yes, I am sort of going to be like a slinky when it comes to going on tour, because there are some festivals that Vltimas is playing with Terrorizer or with Morbid, or some that have Terrorizer and Morbid together. So yeah, it's a lot of back and forth, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it and all the travel plans. But we are starting the Vltimas tour in Europe in March, and I'm really excited about it, to be honest with you. We've never played any of these songs live. Yeah. So yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about approach. I've been, it's like really listening to the songs and thinking about, the delivery and how to, just perform this masterpiece.
Yeah. It's for me, the first record was Album of the Year when it came out, and I think this one might be on the way as well.
Well, it's again, I mean, the only thing continuous with Vltimas and me personally is the fact that it will keep growing and it will keep evolving, and we can, we have enough talent in the band and enough diversity to where anything from the most annoying, ugly, cold, black metal sounding track to maybe something acoustic. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as it's on the path that we are set about to be, and it's organic. That's the only rules.
Yeah. And, just quickly going to I Am Morbid, because you're playing Milwaukee Metal Fest, where you're going to do the Alters record from start to finish, as far as I can remember. Are you planning to do that throughout, the summer shows with I Am?
No. We're just celebrating the fact that we have an anniversary of a very important record for both, myself and the band, and for the genre, for death metal, old school death metal genre in general. And we've been doing this. We have different themes, and put a few different songs in the track in the set list from time to time. Yeah. We have a lot to choose from, but I only concentrate on the songs that I wrote.
Yeah.
And again, we are celebrating an anniversary, but in terms of playing the whole record, it won't be the whole record. I mean, there's a lot of songs from that, but there's so many songs we have that obviously we have to include some from Blessed and some from Covenant and some from Domination as well. So
yeah, and that was been to work with Pete again.
Great. He's in a really good spot.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him, man. I mean, he's a great guy. He works really hard. It feels great to be playing with him. And moreover, the fans are really happy about it. So everybody wins.
Yeah. So you are coming in Portugal in April with I Am Morbid, and hopefully with Vltimas, we can see you still this year, maybe next year.
I hope so. Well, again, the year is still being laid out, but we do have a number of festivals. And, I'm looking forward to everything that's coming up.
Yeah. You must be, as you were saying, like with playing so many shows with different bands, it's just, can you easily, change your mindset into what, the band you're going into, or sometimes you go on stage and I'm like, oops.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things in life that are very difficult for me. Music is not one of them, but in other areas of my life, it's very difficult to find a way to get through it.
Yeah.
And other than, I don't particularly care for flying on planes, because it's just become very miserable with lost luggage and expenses and blah, blah, blah. That's the only part that I don't care about. But as far as being able to perform and being on stage and, meeting with the fans, that's the beauty of it. That's my drug.
Cool. Right, David, thank you very much for your time. All the best for Vltimas and Epic. It's an epic record, really is. It's an excellent record from you guys. Really excited to see you guys again live in Portugal soon, hopefully. So fingers crossed for that to happen. Otherwise, we'll just go to see I Am Morbid at the Barroselas anyway. So
awesome, man. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words about the record.
Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.